The appeal to do it in the first year was just the sense of adventure. Sense of traveling across the country on a bicycle is a pretty rad idea, you know, and to throw in sort of 500 people and tents and moving every day and, you know, covering great distances and all that kind of stuff. It's, yeah, the appeal was just the adventure. Every day, you know, you get standout moments if you're having a good day shooting. It's great because you've got from early morning light all the way through to the evening, plus nowadays you've got like 1,200 riders who you can almost practice with and try, you know, different shots. And if they don't work, it's fine. You've got some more riders coming later and you'll try again until you nail that shot. And you always do have an idea of it in your head, like when you see certain kind of vegetation or certain kind of trail or, you know, certain kinds of mountains, that this is how I want to portray that. But it never really happens until you pick up the camera and look at the subject, and then those things always work themselves into alignment almost. You're up at 5 or before trying to get some stuff around the pits while the headlamps are on, and you know there's lights and all that kind of stuff in the tents, and you know, and then you're working through to all the same sort of thing but late at night, guys, last minute repairs and all that, and that's before you've even gone out on the route. And then the route itself, you know, while you can recce or look at maps or whatever, you're never really quite sure how it's going to all those things are going to line up. What's the story of the day? Who's racing who? Where's the sun coming up? Where's the shadows? Where's the backlight? Where's the, you know, where's the dust going to be? All those kinds of things. And then as your day gets on and gets a little bit longer, the sun's a bit higher, so then everything's harsher and hotter, and you have to just kind of work with that and just feel out the story of the day is kind of how I read it and read the race. Highlights. In the beginning, we were leaving Swellendam one morning at stage 5, I think, after a super rainy day, the day before, and then we were heading out and shooting directly into the rising sun, and there was just these perfect silhouettes of riders, and it was just this ball of fire and strongly backlit riders, and it was just, from that, it was just so good. And those, I mean, and breaking the rules, you know, everyone says you can't shoot into the sun, but that's absolute rubbish. You know, I'd shoot into the sun most of the day if I could, you know. And just with lens flare and dust and all those kinds of things, they just keep adding to the shots. And they also, you know, that you try and create a shot visually which looks good in itself, and then you throw riders into it, which then just boosts that picture that much more. And most of the terrain around here is so pretty anyway. Fynbos and scrub and rocks and dirt and granites and all kinds of, you know, like rock formations like in the Cederberg stuff we did yesterday, and it's quite easy in that respect to take a good photo. Challenge myself to do better every time. I try not to relax with my repertoire of work. I feel you should always be judged on your last work as opposed to something you did 2, 3, 4 years ago. So for me, I have to keep trying to push those boundaries, whether it's new lenses, new techniques, new angles, new transport to get around the course, whatever it might be, just keep trying to push that edge. I think what makes a good photographer is someone who's not lazy in terms of their repertoire. That's, in my mind, makes a bad photographer. The Cape Epic for me has meant a lot of different things. It's pushed me creatively, visually, to try and tell better stories with better pictures and in, you know, stunning landscapes. And I've seen so much more of the country than, you know, a lot of people. You know, you can tell, or you can almost tell where you are based by the dirt or the trees or where the sun is and the mountains in the background, and that is an amazing experience, you know, and it's helped my career, it's helped me produce better photos, and doing that as a photographer is all you can ask for, really.